I'm Vicky from Bloodstock, and this is Amped.
So, Vicky, I guess I want to start things off by saying how does it feel this year? It's been an absolute success. I mean, yesterday was incredible. How's it been for you?
We are absolutely buzzing, is probably the right word. I say this every year. I feel like I repeat myself that we can't improve year on year. I genuinely feel that we do. So this is our most successful year to date. The biggest festival attendance to date. So at the moment, the Bloodstock camp are buzzing.
That's fantastic. And I think this year what really stood out for me, I came back in, I forgot what year it was, but it was Emperor headlining. That was my first time here. And I think what's been really great is the genres you've offered out. It seems to have opened up, and I feel a lot more younger people are coming in as well. And is that something you've strived for over time? I feel it's a lot more diverse this year. I mean, it's really incredible.
I call it growing pains. I actually have a name for it. So when the festival needs to bring in those acts, and the first band we ever did it with was 2012 with Hatebreed.
Yeah.
It was a real wild card. We got a lot of kickback from it. And I sort of said to everybody, we need to bring in bands for the longevity of the festival, but also to bring in an audience that, might not be into black metal. We are a heavy metal festival, so we try and embrace all genres. And yes, my direction is taking the festival that it doesn't matter if we've got X band playing or headlining, we can still then the following year put on a black metal band that no other UK festival probably would have put on as a headliner, and then have a band like Architects the following night. So yes, it's something I deliberately choose to do, but I think it's enhancing and working well for the festival.
Absolutely, no, I completely agree. And seeing next year's lineup, I mean, the crowd reaction was, we were in there and you could just hear everyone screaming. I mean, how was that coming about, putting that together? Was it challenges, difficulty?
Yes, obviously, when you're pulling headliners together. And I mean, for example, Machine Head hadn't done festivals for a long time until this year. The Secret Show was the first time we had Machine Head back, for example. So for them, it's 2012 when they last headline. Gajir, it's been 7 years. Trivium, it's been 10. And to me, it was the perfect. I mean, that is the strongest set of headliners we've had in a long, long time. And the reaction, I love watching the video as much as I get anxiety when that video goes up with the bands. When you hear the cheers and the roar, and then you get the feedback afterwards. And it's one of the only festival lineups where we've looked at the comments, because I scroll the comments, I am that person, and the resounding reaction was incredible. So yes, it's an amazing feeling.
It really has. You and the team should be really proud, because it is incredible, and I think we were all just saying we couldn't believe how you just pulled it out of the hat. It was incredible. And I think I want to ask, sort of going into that, is there any, looking maybe at the smaller bands you might pull next year, how do you find smaller acts and promote them? I mean, you have Metal to Masses. Can you share a little bit about that and how that came to be?
Yes, so years and years ago, my father believed that you need to support young metal bands. We didn't know how at that point. So it was a case of, how do we give bands a platform? It's not a pay-to-play, you're just giving them a stage and letting them showcase talent, because otherwise it's impossible for bands to get seen. Hence Metal to the Masses came about, which is Simon Hall's absolute baby. He is the driving force of Metal to the Masses. So there are venues up and down the country now and in Europe that host the events. Bands basically have heats. The winning band then gets to play Bloodstock on the New Blood stage. And a lot of those bands can get deals and be signed elsewhere. So we look at, for example, we had Raised by Owls on the main stage this morning.
Incredible.
Absolutely. If anyone didn't see that, I can confirm it's the biggest crowd for an opening band we've ever had. Front to back in the arena. Everybody will say they killed it, and they were a Metal to the Masses band.
Wow.
And we've put them on the main stage. We put them on Sophie, we put them on the main. So that's what Bloodstock's about, bringing those bands through the ranks, and we'll always do that.
I remember back when I came, I think Evil Scarecrow was one you really pushed, and they were always fantastic. I remember seeing them, and it was always just great coming every year and seeing them on the main stage. And no, I think it's really brilliant what you're doing. Again, we're supporting for the fans by the fans. I think it's really important to promote these smaller artists, especially in metal, where you don't have that same traction as the pop musicians and the mainstream rock. And I think I just want to end on sort of asking: is there 3 artists, perhaps smaller, that you're listening to right now that you'd like to share?
Oh gosh, you've really put me on the spot. I'm loving Azenvel. They're a young band. They're really good frontman. They're a fun sort of rock band. I don't know if you're familiar with them. They are a band I would say I would champion. Raised by Owls, I generally see big things for them. They've proved that not only have they got the banter online, but they put on a great show. They're fun, they're entertaining, and that's a band I would love to bring through the ranks. I can't think of a third off the top of my head because I'm frazzled on a Sunday, but there's so many. We've got so many amazing bands, and I say to everybody, if there's a Metal to the Masses heat and you can get to it, please attend, because some of these heats as well have had more attendance than a signed band. We've had hundreds of people in sell-out shows. So I always say it's not just about us, it's about the public supporting these bands, because that means everything.